Good morning everyone, my name is Chris from Two-Headed Wolf Gaming and welcome to a Let's Play of Total War Saga, Thrones of Britannia. Thrones of Britannia is a game that is focused around the British Isles soon after the Viking invasion. It came out in 2018 from Creative Assembly and they really tried to put some new ideas and mechanics out there, some of which actually made it into their future titles. Unfortunately, because the game didn't feel as fleshed out as some of their other titles, it got a little bit of a bad rap. But I've always enjoyed the art style and the charm of this game and wanted to try a few more campaigns. So without further ado, let's get this going. For this particular run, I decided to go with the Great Viking Army and in particular East Engle.
Blood will flow.
I've never played them before, so I wanted to give this a try. We have a few cultural feats. We have plus 200% from raiding and sacking, so we might want to focus on that. We have plus 6 to melee skills for all units when in enemy territory, which is very useful. We have a certain mechanic called Here King. The king of the Danes here in Britannia must play a delicate game to stay at the top. Find the balance between appeasing the English and your army. We will see a little bit more about this as we go inside the game. We also have a few faction features, which is Guthrum's Will. The king of the Danelaw rewards those who raid and conquer in his name. Get missions to fight and unique rewards for your aggression. We have very strong axe infantry and a good balance of other infantry units. We have access to berserkers and powerful Anglian champions. We also get plus 50% to reinforcement range, however I don't know how useful that will be for us. We're gonna play on hard and let's see a little bit of a background. Since killing Edmund, the last Anglian king, nearly a decade ago, the Vikings have made themselves a home in East Engle. Now Guthrum, not content with his eastern holdings, has ambitions to become the most powerful Viking warlord in English territory, as well as making considerable inroads into Mears and challenging the borders of Northumbria. He has raided as far as West Seax, even hitting Alfred in his capital in a surprise attack. Guthrum is a man to watch. Let's get this started.
We came to these lands from across the sea to pillage and conquer. For a decade, our army left a trail of destruction, but it did not last. The army was divided, with half heading to Northumbria and the rest pushing on, only to be defeated. But our story does not end there. A treaty was signed, ceding East Engle to us. We must rebuild. Our time will come again, and we will be ready!
Your peace treaty with the Saxons was a matter of expedience. It does not bind you forever. You came here as warriors, and warriors you remain. Muster your strength and finish what your ancestors started. More Viking incursions from the south are on the way. Build up your defenses and strengthen your army. You cannot afford to be caught out when they attack. You have one army in place already, awaiting your order to attack the rebels in the east. Eradicate the rebel army, and you will be set to start your campaign in earnest.
We received our first mission. We should stabilize internally before we look beyond our borders. Prove your right to rule and eliminate the nearby rebels. And if doing so, we get internal stability, which offers us plus 5 to public order and plus 50% to unit replenishment. Pretty standard for any Total War game to have a rebel army at the beginning of the game inside your territory. So let's kick them out first of all, and then we start looking on what we do next. So we have 2 archers, a long axeman, a swordsman and a spearman. I'm gonna encamp this army in order to recruit some units. And it will require us 10 food for each unit that we want to recruit. At the moment we have 75 food, which is good. It's very easy to go into the negative and start suffering penalties. We will suffer attrition from starvation, you'll suffer public order penalties, and it's actually a pretty valid tactic to take settlements that produce food in order to starve bigger territories out. I'm gonna put 2 cav into this army. I'm gonna bring in another spearman to cover the flanks. I will take 1 more bow unit and maybe another swordsman. Yes, I'll do so. And because we have over here a smithy, a forge, we can actually upgrade the weapons on our troops and the armor to get 5% more to attack and defense. With that being said, let's get this started. It's not really a battle that is fun to fight, but I wanted to give you a little bit preview if you've never seen the battle map or the units before. So here we are on the battle map. I'll try to get some good weather, since we are the attackers. I'll put my archers in front, my king and the swordsman in the back. I'll keep the long axemen way back because they have no shields and they're gonna get destroyed by missile units. Keep the cav over here and the spearmen on the side. As you can see, some of the new units are not replenished, are not full. Like, this is something they've tried actually in this game. When you recruit a certain unit, you do not get a full stack. You will have to replenish them over time, which is a pretty interesting idea. It certainly stops those huge armies that the AI usually have from the bonuses they get with difficulties. We have here in front our archers. In the back we can see the more heavily armored swordsman. And I believe that over here we have our king with the majestic crown. A few cav units in the back. And also let's take a look at this double-handed axeman. Let's get this over with.
Follow them! Archers with speed warriors! Ready for war! Battle awaits! The enemy
I'm gonna push my troops forward. And I'll actually make them walk so they don't tire out by the time they get to the battle line. I'll just fast forward it a little bit. Let's see, they have some cav in the back, some Seol archers over here. I'll bring my cav to the top. Let's see if we can bait them to come at least a little bit forward. I'll try to use my cav actually to scout a little bit.
Move it, men! Ready! Pace on yourselves! Up the pace, man! Horseman! Ride like the wind! Archers!
Our foes have surprised us!
Ranged attack! Horsemen! Drive your mounts! The enemy are upon us! Missiles, loose!
Our
So
foes
here
have
is their
surprised
general.
us.
Death from above!
I'm not gonna shoot at his general
enemy
because
approaches.
he's heavily armored, so it's gonna be pretty difficult to take them from the front. It's a very good idea to shoot in their backs if you have the chance. I'm gonna push my troops forward a little bit just so I don't constantly respond to what he's doing.
Our general is under attack!
But make him respond to what I'm doing.
Horsemen! Cavalry! Faster! Bowmen! Charge! Hardmen! Horsemen! Retreat from the battle! Fire on
As I said, this is not a very big battle. It's something to get used to if you've never played a Total War game before. But it's not a challenge in any way, shape or form. We're just getting this done quickly and move on.
Our foes will fall! State your orders! Herdmen! Quicken the pace! Chosen by Odin! Herdmen! Axemen! Up the pace, man! Crush them! Move it, men! Quicken the pace! Herdmen! Spearmen! Cavalry! Ride like the wind! Warriors with speed! Wipe him out! Battle orders!
So let's move our axeman, let's surround the general and try to get this over with. I'll stop my archers from shooting just so I don't kill my own man.
Up the pace, man! We've got hasten your side! Axemen! Our foes will fall! Ready for war! Crush them!
And at this point I think I'm just gonna fast forward the battle because we don't need to see this.
We won! Horsemen!
That's how to do it!
Got that!
I'll do a quick cleanup. Well, that should be about it. We'll keep the money,
Marching
it doesn't a
formation!
little bit matters. We finished the mission and here we are on the map. Now if you take a look at our settlements in order of income, ECX seems to be the richest at the moment. Suffolk is also pretty rich. We have a few buildings, like the green ones are the ones that produce, with the green background, produce the most food. The yellow ones are tied to commerce. You have the black ones, which is tied to industry, and on this one is administration mostly. So what you do in this game, one of the things that you try to do with your settlements is actually create combos around their villages. For example, if we look at ECX, we have a village over here that's producing us some food. We have a sheep pasture, we have 2 salt mines and a fishing village. So basically we can produce quite a bit of food, and we can also produce quite a bit of income from doing trading. So we might want to go one way or another depending on what we need. It's the beginning of the game. I think money is the most important thing at the moment. So I'm gonna focus on that over here. Let's just take one at a time. I believe it's the best idea to do so. So let's start with the richest and increase its income a little bit. We also have an army here in the north. Actually, I will bolster this army as well, because I will want their help when we're pushing on this side. So, since we do have an archer, we have 2 spearmen, and we have about 25 food, so we could use 2 axemen just to begin with. And keep it there. With the rest of the money, we're coming back here to East CX. And we can either upgrade the sheep pasture to a clothier, which provides us with quite a bit more income from commerce. It gives us plus 4% to income on adjacent regions from commerce, and we also gain 10 cloth production. If we go with the sheep herd, we get a little bit more cloth, we get less direct income, and we also receive 10 food. In adjacency to that, we gain plus 4% to income from farming. And let me give you a quick overview on why goods produced are important. In this game in particular, trading happens automatically. So as long as you're in good relations with your neighbors, then trade just happens. Over time, long partnership produce more money. And so when you're looking at what you are producing, you should look at what's the value of it and how much you are exporting. Now that is very important, because if you are exporting 80% of your goods, then there's no real need to add even more production of goods, because then you will not sell, you will not find the best or the most efficient way to produce money. At this moment, we can see that cloth is actually cost 6 per unit, and we're exporting 100%. We also have salt, which is a 7, and we export also 100%. Well, it's the beginning of the game, so production is not really that high. For the beginning, I will use the sheep and actually gain this 224% base income, and I also want that 4% to all adjacent regions, since we're gonna control most of them. On the fishing hamlet, we can either gain, once again, food from the fishery and income on commerce if we build this fisherman. If we go with the fishing village, we get a little bit more range on the navies. So I will build a fisherman because, once again, I want to make this region pretty rich. So I want to have that commerce income. I do not need the smithy anymore. Like, we get 10% more income from industry. I think we have, yes, over here at the salt mines, we have 2244 income. That's about 3 or 4 extra gold from this, while we are spending on maintenance 100 if you look on the left. So we're losing money from having this, and we've already upgraded our weapons, so I'm gonna demolish it. Now I know that there's a lot to explain, and on these first episodes, generally in a campaign, it takes a bit longer just to get started. However, as we go along, we will be moving faster and faster. That's all the money we have. I want to take a little look at our faction. We have the general to the north, Gunnar, which is a pretty good commander, and he's so good that he has enabled the night battles, so that will be very useful. He's quite loyal, so we don't need to worry about him. Over here at the governance, we already see that someone is disloyal. We'll take a look at him in a second. For the first governor, Airwheels, he's pretty good on commerce. and he's loyal, so we don't need to worry too much about him. Unlock over here, he has low loyalty because he's more influential than the ruler. That is pretty bad, even though he's quite good as a character and he's just. We are probably going to focus on getting him to be loyal. We have another character over here that's treacherous. That means that in time this usurper allegiance will create rebels inside the territory that he governs. And we have Karl over here, which is pretty good overall. He has an increased research rate for our faction, he gives us more income, and he decreases the cost for markets. Once again, pretty good characters. Our king over here is very zealous, which brings him more morale to the army, and he also leveled up. So to begin with, I'll put a point into the campaign movement range. That's about it. Here we have low public order, but just because we don't control most of it, so let's finish the turn.
My skills are growing.
And that's done. If we take a look a little bit on the diplomatic map, we have a vassal over here, and if to the north of us we do have a few factions that are not allied with anyone right now. So what I want to do is actually push north and take over these territories. Over here to the west we have a few factions that have actually a defensive pact, which means that they will help each other in case I attack. To the south of us we have a vassal kingdom to West Siax, which is the biggest faction at the moment. He's ranked number 1. The good things for us is that we do have a non-aggression pact for a while, I think about 10 or 20 turns, so we do not need to worry about him right now. We just need to focus on growing as quickly as possible before we go into conflict. With that being said, let's move our bigger stack to the north. And one more thing that I want to do is actually bring this army over here to take over this village. The reason why I'm doing that is, first of all, villages in this game do not have any protection. So you can move around and take villages as you see fit. Only the big towns have armies. And if I'm gonna start attacking the city over here, there is a chance that during the first turn this army from my vassal will actually march north and take over the city, and
Enemy blood will flow.
then it will become a little bit more difficult to take it from him. So what I want to do is actually march and make sure that on the same turn that I declare war over here, I'm gonna take this village nearby. We've got a level up for one of our governors. For them, basically I'm just gonna go with a scribe, giving them more income and more governance. Over here he has a penalty of -1, so it's gonna balance that out. If we take another look over here, this building was destroyed. As you can see, this is what we have available, and we decided to go for the merchants that provide us commerce. we can get a little bit more from the port. I do not care for that. We can get plus 32% from cloth, pottery and salt. So we had cloth and salt, so I believe this is what we're gonna do. Or we can get another base income of 70 gold. Like right now, because we do have 5 food, I believe that I want the base money. So let me just do that. We have a little bit of money left, so let's look into our second richest territory, Suffolk over here. They're doing clay pits, so they're producing pottery. I'm gonna choose this one over here. It provides us with a little less income from commerce, but it provides us with, once again, the bonus of commerce to all adjacent provinces. So we're trying to combo this entire area into one big commercial hub. You probably noticed that we haven't spoken about research. If we take a look at technology, in this game, technology is unlocked by building certain units. Overall, if we look at the melee units, we need to recruit 5 sword or axe infantry just to open this tree. And so on with spear, missile and the other ones. And on civic, we need to construct certain buildings in order to unlock this research. For example, we need monasteries in order to unlock the community. We'll come back to that when we unlock something.
I have achieved.
With this being said, the episode has been going on for long enough. As I said, it's a pretty slow start to begin with, but we'll get back into it very soon. So thank you very much for watching, and I'm looking forward to seeing you next time. Bye!